But what is good, YouTube and such? We are back again with another stream, which y'all already know. I don't really have to say anything too extra. You already know the drill. If you guys were here last stream and video, we were grinding for the Isagi update, and it actually updated again. It is now 4.25, and I'm guessing there are a lot of new units we have to go for. For example, we have new modes, new units. You know, I mean, we already basically knew. If you guys remember last stream, we beat the soccer game mode. We beat the soccer game mode first try, and after doing that, we instantly transferred over to getting, what's it called? We transferred over to trying to get like Ace Eater or him, one of these two currently. But now that the update is out, we might as well try to go for at least 3. So we're gonna go for Isagi, of course, because I mean it's Isagi, the main character. We're gonna go for Ace Eater, and then obviously him. But I'm gonna read out everything in a second after I get my stuff pulled up, and then you're good to go. What's it called? Honestly, when we were in the update last time, it was they did great. I'm still in love with this update, so. And hello, and Stormy. Welcome in, Stormy. Alright, so we have a new Universal Football update. Draft your team, build. I mean, we already seen it. We did it yesterday. But apparently there are new chemical reactions. There's 3 new sacred units, 2 new banner units. Oh, it's just basically telling us everything we already seen the first update, which we don't need a second run of.
You guys like Transformers, you know, those giant robots that transform into different vehicles, animals, honestly, anything that they scan they can turn into. It's kind of creepy. But how about Transformers set in medieval times with a magic staff and Merlin? It's like Lord of the Rings, but Transformers. So today we're finna break down one of the most unhinged Transformers movies.
I mean, it went well last time, so why wouldn't it go well this time?
You know what this franchise needs? King Arthur.
Nobody
begin. Asked for that, and nobody was in the comments begging for it. But that's what we got anyway. We got Nazi. Wait. There's Nazis in this one? No, just kidding. No Nazis. Wrong script. We got wizards. We got leprechaun robots. We got Anthony Hopkins as a Ashton Martin. This recap finna be fire. I'm not gonna lie. So get comfortable, grab your snacks, and your eye. Roll that shit up. I ain't gonna lie. And let's get into it.
Luckily, I got a pin.
So we up in medieval England, 484 AD, and it's looking real grim, cuz King Arthur and his knights, led by Lancelot, are getting absolutely cooked, outnumbered 100-1 against the Saxons in the middle of a full-blown apocalypse-looking battlefield. But except for a bunch of terrorists with bombs, it's Saxons with bombs. All right, I'm just kidding, no bombs. Anyways, everybody's screaming to charge into what clearly is a losing battle. There's bodies everywhere, smoke everywhere. Bro, they're in the middle of the worst L of their lives. One knight straight up says, "This is what the end looks like, fellas." Out loud, like he already knows it's over. Lancelot's out here asking Arthur point blank where the hell is the so-called magician he keeps talking about, because at this point he thinks this whole thing's a scam that's about to get everybody killed for nothing. He calls Merlin a worthless drunkard to the king's face in the middle of the battlefield. Real disrespectful energy for a guy who supposedly is loyal to his king. And listen, he's right to be skeptical, because when you finally meet this magician Merlin, a man is not conjuring nothing but liquor bottles. He's drunk off his ass in a cave somewhere, calling himself the conjurer of spirits, the master of the dark arts, while good men are dying 20 feet away. This dude is not it, chief. Straight up admits to himself later that, and what they say, I'm a liar, a charlatan, I've deceived my whole life. Bro really confessed to being a fraud mid-apocalypse. But here's the twist, because Merlin isn't totally lying. Turns out he found an actual crashed alien ship and inside with 3 actual Transformers, alien guardian knights, just chilling in a wrecked ship this whole time. So this whole time, Merlin's magic was just him having a secret alliance with robots from outer space that nobody else knew about. When Arthur's forces are about to get wiped off the map completely, Merlin finally caves and breaks down crying and begs the aliens for help. Straight up said that he'd give up everything, the drink, the money, The women, okay, well actually, he catches himself mid-sentence and quietly downgrades it to just the drink and the money. Keeps the women part because, I mean, everybody needs coochie to survive. Man's priorities never left, even right before death. Anyways, the alien knight says bet, and he transforms into a literal three-headed dragon right there on the battlefield and goes absolutely feral on the Saxon army. He upgrades the weapons and everything.
Whoa! What the fuck just happened? We just got a whole cutscene without knowing what happened. Yeah! Why does he keep doing that? Like, did he... Oh, he awakened. Oh! And that's actually code, so they have awakenings. I was like, what? Wow. Right in the corner. No block. That was shocking a little though. Unexpected aura farming for the TikTok. I feel like that's what he just did for me. I mean, appreciate the clips, but what the fuck? Let me bumble away. That was actually done.
So Arthur wins, Camelot survives, and in exchange, the alien's knight leave behind a magic staff with Merlin, telling him one day a great evil's going to come looking for it, but guard it with his life. That's your Chekhov's staff right there. Remember that phrase and the object. It's carrying the entire 2.5-hour movie.
Oh my god, you're the reach he's following me
and everything's falling apart worse than before. Optimus Prime, after the events of the last movie, just up and left Earth entirely.
Get Zorro off the field.
And he leaves behind this whole ominous broadcast message. Leave planet Earth alone, because I'm coming for you, Paul. Which honestly is kind of valid, because we've all had that moment where we want to go confront whoever's responsible for making us the way we are. Megatron also vanished into thin air around the same time. So now you got two of the biggest apex robots on the planet gone in total chaos. Left in the wake of it. Transformers are officially declared illegal on Earth, outlawed, hunted, no exceptions, except in Cuba, where apparently Fidel Castro just lets Transformers chill on the beach sipping mojitos. Iconic, honestly. Cuba's out here being the one country on Earth with some hospitality left in it, while everybody else is treating alien robots like enemy combatants. Meanwhile, more and more alien ships keep raining down on Earth constantly. Endless waves, too many to even count according to the news reports, and the government set up this whole parliamentary task force called the TRF specifically to hunt down and detain any transformer that shows its face, whether it's actually hostile or not. There's this whole subplot with the government scientists tracking some unidentified gravitational anomaly out in deep space too. The scientists trying to brief a general about a planet-sized object approaching Earth at a tenth the speed of light. Now we get dropped into the scene where a group of kids sneak into a restricted alien contamination zone, a literal fenced-off no-go area the government doesn't want civilians anywhere near. Looking to grab souvenirs of dead transformers lying around like it's a swap meet. Kids out here thrifting dead alien bodies. One of them starts bragging about grabbing a piece off of a body while his boys over there like, bro, that's not cool, bro. TRF shot him down. I don't give a fuck who shot him down. I'm gonna run his pockets. Man, this nigga got fake chains on, bro. What do you got, moissanite? Now they find what they think is a straight-up dead robot, and then they start poking at it, arguing about whether it's actually dead when it starts twitching. This is Squeaks, a little robot who took serious damage and can't transform anymore. He's missing an arm, he's basically helpless. One of the kids, a girl, immediately starts trying to help him, patching him up right there in the dirt. And that's when the TRF drones and choppers roll up mid-raid. Snipers up top calling for permission to fire on hostile targets, which, mind you, at this point in the scene, are literal unarmed children hiding behind a downed robot. It's about to get real bad real fast. Commands arguing back and forth about whether they're cleared to fire on kids. Because it's Epstein Island. That's when Cade Yeager rolls up out of nowhere in his truck. Now Cade already has a reputation out here. People call him the legend, the guy who saves Transformers. There's an actual bounty on his head just for what he does. He gets the kids clear right as the TRF open fire, but it's already too late for one of the other robots protecting them. This dude they called Canopy, who's basically this girl's whole surviving family at this point. He takes a fatal hit trying to shield her, and then he just dies right there in her arms while she's screaming for him to wake up. Cade shows up seconds too late to save him. There's this genuinely funny moment where one of the kids can see who Cade is mid-firefight and goes, words. You know, there's a reward
man.
for turning you in. And Cade just asks if he wants to get punched in the face. Right? You want me to punch you in the fucking face? Well, stop playing with me, cuz.
Give me that.
Damn, you ain't gotta do all that, old ass dude. A wild opening for what turns into basically a whole surrogate family arc for this girl. But we move on.
Curveball.
We cut the
Right in the corner.
solo through the same
Block
wreckage,
this,
clearly
nigga.
hunting for something. Turns out the TRFs had eyes on Cade specifically this entire time, tracking him as their real prize. But there's this full standoff here. TRFs got weapons on both Cade and Bumblebee.
We finished that
Everybody's
one
screaming,
easy.
shoot him, shoot him.
That was
And it
wave
takes
30
Cade point
already?
blank refusing to drop his own weapon and ordering TRF to stand down.
We were in
while
wave
Bumblebee holds his ground,
25.
and he's saying threats right back to anybody who tries him.
All right,
We're
well,
inches
we're getting
away
wild
from
materials.
turning into a straight up
Bro, we
massacre
need
before
some more.
Cade manages to talk everybody off of the ledge. That's when Hound shows up. Big, loud, absolutely delighted mercenary type. He's an Autobot. I love starting my day off with a gunfight. Sorry I'm late. My invitation must have got lost in the mail. Hey man, shut your corny ass up, man. So I ain't gonna lie though, you look fly right now. Like real shit. Like
He
you
just
look
allowed me to
like you
Aura
been to the
farm.
gym. And this
Holy
dude out here openly saying he loves violence like it's a personality trait. Talk shit to TRF for being wusses.
Oh, yeah,
for not wanting to
Universal.
shoot it out.
I
He's
see
straight
what you
up
guys
telling
are
them to call off their
No
birds
worry,
like
y'all
he's the
gonna
one
keep
giving
me
orders
for a
here.
long
Basically, the
time.
robots feel at this point that all
I ain't
humans are
go
pretty much bad.
nowhere.
Equal opportunity distrust for humans and robots alike. No loyalty whatsoever besides Cade himself. Anyways, the command back at base is watching all this through satellite feed. There's some general fixating on how this particular Decepticon turned informant seems way older than Optimus Prime himself, and how he's keeping tabs on Cade's whole
Another
crew from the
domain
CIA surveillance without
expansion.
anybody on the ground even knowing it. Megatron resurfaces out of
2,
nowhere.
5,
Makes direct
4.
contact with
Oh
the
my
CIA
God.
wanted to negotiate.
No
This
jackpot.
dude straight up kidnaps 2 CIA case
Domain
officers just
expansion
to
plus
force a
playoff?
sit-down meeting. And shockingly, the government actually agrees to negotiate with him because they're convinced he can lead them
This
to
ain't
this
fair. I
mysterious
don't see
weapon
the gold.
everybody keeps
Oh, I
whispering
see.
about, the Stag.
Trust.
So there's a deal on the table. They release a
In the
handful
words
of
of
imprisoned
Hikari.
Decepticons back to Megatron's custody in exchange for information. And this whole thing plays out like a very unserious prison.
What did I
meeting.
say?
Hey, listen, man. I'm gonna help y'all niggas get this Stag. Y'all gotta
Good.
release my Decepticons to me. Real
That's
shit.
it.
I got all my
That's
niggas
the
locked up. Hey, free my nigga
That's the
Shockwave. Hey, free Shockwave, girl. Free Shockwave to his backwards. Now, first up is Mohawk. That nigga talking like he came straight from 63rd, like he chilling with King Von and shit. He immediately threatens to kill everybody in the room before he even gets cleared. Then there's Dreadbot, whose rap sheet escalates from bank robbery straight up through aggravated assault, murder, double murder, and triple murder, ending with a body count of 9 total, where he didn't even bother taking the money. Till Zeus gets released, thanking random prison staff by name on his way out, like he's leaving a hostage situation and not federal custody. Then they bring out
Why you
Berserker,
got
who
your
gets
shirt off?
rejected on the spot the second he opens his mouth and says, "Man, I'll suck your brains." That's a hard no from everybody in the room.
6,
Fair enough,
7.
honestly. Also,
6, 7. Hell
running
no.
up the flagpole with a phone call first. So now Megatron's rolling with a whole crew of freshly released psychopaths, and the
I heard
government's
somebody
actual
say
plan
that
is to
at
feed
work, bro. I
Megatron's
was so
Cade's
dead.
exact location. Let the Decepticons do the dirty work
Me
of
and one of my
extracting whatever
managers
intel
that I'm close with,
Cade's
bro, we
holding,
had
then
the
double
same
cross Megatron
reaction.
the second
We
they
were
get
like,
what they
ain't
need.
no
Brilliant
way,
plan.
bro.
Nothing about this could possibly go wrong.
Yes,
right?
I know,
Now back
I
at the
just said it,
junkyard,
but
we get some
still.
good character stuff establishing
going
this whole
on
found family
there?
situation Cade's built. There's Day Trader, a scummy black market transformer who trades parts and info for
Yo,
favors. Then there's Drift, constantly
she's
rolling his
got
eyes at Hal's
some
antics. There's
geopolitical
Grimlock, an actual alien dinosaur transformer that Cade's new
This shit
intern
blew
Jimmy
my mind.
accidentally hired off of one ad in a local newspaper without knowing what he was signing up for. Grimlock's out here straight up eating stolen police cruisers, chomping down on evidence like a junkyard dog. And there's this whole bit where Jimmy has to fish a stolen sheriff's
She
cruiser out
just
of Grimlock's
gained
mouth to
a
avoid
massive-
federal charges
oh,
for aiding and
zebra
abetting.
zombie.
It eats entire cars,
every
bro. Like
blooded
real shit. And in the middle of all of this, we have
So that
Isabella
one
trailing
HP
Cade
to a
constantly,
zombie.
refusing to leave and
Ooh,
insisting
okay.
that she's
10 out of
useful
10.
and that she fixes shit better than anyone. And Cade, despite acting hard about it at first, obviously softens
4,
up, lets her
2.
crash there anyway. He offers her frozen pizza burritos
2,
out the
7,
freezer.
2.
There's this genuinely
3
classic scene where Cade
jackpots!
and Jimmy are
Whoa,
just talking through their own
4!
working on Bumblebee. Cade's wife passed away.
What
and
is
his daughter
happening?
unreachable to the point where every time he tries to visit her, they both end up getting arrested. And Isabella flatly counters that. The
Oh
whole
my
family got
God,
wiped out
we're
by
not
a
losing
Decepticon
anytime
rocket while she
soon.
wasn't
This
even
is an
home.
easy
Heavy stuff
solo.
sandwiched between fart jokes and a talking car, which is honestly this whole
Shouts out to
franchise's
Universal
brand
Tower
at this
Defense. Don't
point.
forget to go play.
Explosions, really bad
forget to go
jokes,
play.
and Shia LaBeouf, and also Mark Wahlberg for some reason. Anyways, moving on. There's also this
That's gonna
great
pop
little
up a few
pop
times, but you'll
quiz
be
scene
fine.
where Jimmy's trying
You'll
to
be
prove he's not
fine.
just some rookie. and Kate quizzes him on how he fixed a fictional energon leak on an old slant 6 engine before Bob bleeds out.
Nice.
And Jimmy actually cobbles together a decent sounding answer about cauterizing the artery and rechanneling the central
in the
flow
corner
to
again.
the doohickey
It's like
thing,
in
which
guarantee
Kate
shot if you
grudgingly
shoot in the corner.
respects. Even though
Yeah,
Jimmy
see?
first tries to dodge the question by pointing out Transformers don't even have a slant 6, calling it way back in
He
ancient
hit that
history.
T-pose.
Kate
He had to
immediately
show
shuts
him
that
who he
down,
was real quick.
reminding him the late
Another one?
60s and exactly ancient history. A little back
Was
and
that
forth
2 in
between
1?
them. Right around here we get this subplot running parallel. A scientist is trying to beat the general on those mysterious alien horns sprouting up.
Yo, that was a 3 in 1.
3 meters a day, and the Chinese are.
That was a 4 in 1.
Hell, the general thinks it's hilarious, and it's just
okay. So it's a
geek
guaranteed
stuff.
4
Until he's
for me.
told that this
Lovely.
thing's going to kill everybody in 3 days flat. Separately, back with Cage's crew, how
Oh
gets
my
roasted over
God.
his weight during
Oh!
the status call, insisting he's not overweight.
Isagi! Oh my God, we can actually maybe possibly do a showcase if he actually
I ain't gonna
uses
lie,
his moves.
they call you the Dave Blunt's Autobot,
he's right here.
but real
That's not him.
Back at the junkyard, there's also this moment where Cade uses a satellite phone bounced through 3 different
Are
countries
we
just to
lucky?
leave his daughter a voicemail, telling her he's fine even though he clearly isn't, and that she doesn't need to save the world. She needs a girlfriend.
Nice.
It's an inside joke between them apparently, and that he doesn't want her thinking that he'd ever die alone out here. Generally one of the more grounded human moments buried in a movie that is unhinged. Then out of nowhere, the government
What
finds
is-
him. The alien bastard
Chaos is
Squeaks,
happening.
picked up from Day Trader earlier, had a tracker embedded in it. The TRF
Hey,
and
we can keep out
Megatron's newly
Isagi's
released
model.
Decepticon crew both converge on
10
the
out of 10.
junkyard at
Look at him.
basically the exact
Man,
same moment.
look at
And
him.
this is where the movie goes full
We do not
action
have
mode.
him yet,
The
but he
TRF
looks
troops
good.
storm in and try to detain everybody at
for
once, while
China, of
Decepticons
course.
are simultaneously attacking the same location, hunting for
his
Isabella's
range?
talisman. Hound's out here loving every second of this, as he stays behind to hold the
Oh.
line so everybody else can bail, going toe-to-toe with Megatron
I mean,
himself
you
and
can't
mocking him the
really
entire
show the stats and
time.
everything,
Cade's
but-
whole crew ends up scrambling
Oh.
through an abandoned town trying to survive the
Whoa,
TRF
whoa, whoa,
drones.
whoa,
There's this
whoa,
funny
whoa,
moment
whoa,
where
whoa,
Jimmy
whoa,
takes what he
whoa,
thinks
whoa,
is a
whoa.
fatal gunshot mid-firefight
Not
and
let
starts
them cross
sobbing,
that
telling
line.
Cade he loves him, saying his goodbyes and going through the full death scene monologue, only for everybody to realize it was just a beanbag round the whole time. No blood, no hole, nothing. Dude legitimately thought he died from a beanbag gun. Cade himself ends up cornered by the TRF and gets thrown
thought I
clean
just
out of a
sold right there,
10-story
dude.
window during the chaos by this small,
Oh, what a
extremely
playoff
creepy
cell.
robotic butler
Oh,
named
did they get
Coleman.
playoff?
And everybody's
No, we
asking each other if he's still alive after
W's
watching
are
him
with the
plummet
kick.
all 10 stories. When the little robot casually shows up admitting,
This is not my fault.
Pass it
He
over to
just
Big
burst
Dog.
out of the
Ah.
elevator.
completely unbothered
Right in the
about
corner.
nearly killing
Over
the guy
Jay
he's
Juliet.
supposed to be recruiting.
Over Jay
He stayed
Juliet.
at the last second
Over
to
Jay
dust him off,
Juliet.
straightens his
And
collar
into
like
the
nothing
goal.
happened and casually informs him you have been chosen. Turns out Cogman works for an ancient secret order called the Witwicons, and Cage just got drafted
my
into a
God.
whole separate plot without so much as being asked. Cogman tells him that his crew is back
we
in
get
the
lucky this
junkyard
time?
and that they'll stay safe as long as Cade leaves with him right now. In his presence, they're all in danger.
The
In
answer
his
is no.
absence, they'll be fine. So they hustle him onto a private plane and
We're
they
gonna keep
fly
going.
off to
We're gonna
England,
get the
leaving
new soccer
Bumblebee,
unit.
Hound,
Don't
Drift,
care.
Squeaks, and
The
everybody
grind
else to
is
keep fighting off
grinding
TRF and Megatron's Decepticons without him. Now we cut over
And
to
an
the entirely
instant
other half of the movie. 'Cause
aura
remember,
farm
Optimus
from our
Prime left
boy.
Earth at the very start. Well, he finally
We
makes it
love the
back home to
instant aura
Cybertron,
farms.
and his planet is straight up dying. Dark, cracked, lifeless, nothing left of the world he remembers. He encounters a being called
He had
Quintessa,
to show
claiming
him
to
how
be
he
his
worked.
creator, the prime of life
Oh, he
herself.
broke my camera,
Optimus
though.
tries to fight her over what happened to his world, accusing her of doing this to his
That
home.
nigga
But she
broke
flips the
my
accusation right back on him,
camera.
blaming the Transformers' own
Where
war for
am I
being the planet in the
using
first place. And she basically brainwashes
broke
him on the
my
spot, wipes his
camera.
loyalty clean, and turns him into a
Oh,
corrupt
yeah,
little
she
force
broke my
over her
game,
will.
dude.
Calls him Nemesis Prime
It's
from here on
alright.
out. Her whole plan gets revealed
We can
here
solo
too.
with
She
this
needs her
entire
staff
team.
back, the same staff that Merlin was
Nah, but
protecting
it was-
1,000
but it's-
years
I
ago
think
on
it's gonna
Earth,
fix
because that
anyway,
staff
'cause
holds
there's
the
a lot of
power to
animations
drain
with a
life
lot
force
of
clean out of
characters.
one planet and transfer it to
never
another. And then she drops the wildest reveal in the entire movie. That Earth isn't just Earth, its actual
lot of
ancient name is Unicron, Cybertron's mortal enemy. And if she gets his staff back, she's going to use it to kill Unicron dead.
Oh
and use
yeah,
his
I also
stolen life
forgot to
force
say we
before
did a
he
little
resurrects Cybertron.
we did a
Optimus
little
straight
mini
up asks if
gun.
She's really asking him to
Sometimes
kill an
we do a
entire
little
planet.
mini gun,
She
so
doesn't
if you
even
ever
flinch.
see our
Tells him
level
flat
go
out
up a
that
little
that's
bit,
exactly
or
the
our
deal. That his
characters
race dies
just
forever unless he does exactly what she
etherealized.
says. Because
That
technically,
is
she
why.
made him, and he belongs to her command.
Or I
Real
might have did
cult
it on a
leader
stream and I
energy
just
from a
didn't post
supposed
the
goddess
stream
figure.
because
There's this whole
why would I
hypnotic
get it
little
wrong?
repeated mantra during the actual brainwashing scene too. No fear, no hate, no anger. Chanted over and
Also,
over while Optimus fights it internally before finally losing the fight
Why would
completely.
you
So now
say that?
brainwashed,
Told
corrupted
y'all.
Optimus Prime
Good fix.
gets sent back to Earth, specifically
I
to
knew I
retrieve
didn't
that
have to do
staff
nothing
for her,
crazy.
fully willing to burn the entire planet to ash to do it. That's some real stakes for the whole second half of the movie right there. Back in England,
That
we
last
meet
one was a
Vivian
little
Wimbley,
spooky.
an Oxford professor and the daughter of a recently
Who is
deceased
that?
earl. He turns out to be a secret Witwiccan this whole time. It's an ancient order dating back to Camelot, dedicated to
Hold
protecting
on,
the
I
truth
gotta
about
investigate.
Transformers on Earth. Huh, Witwicky. Wasn't that one guy's last name? Something Witwicky, Shia
Oh, I'm so
LaBeouf,
fast.
right? Wait a minute. Shia LaBeouf, Transformers character. I I could have sworn his last name was
it's that one
Sam,
watered guy.
Wait a
It
minute.
was Marvel,
Damn. So Sam Witwick. Oh, I just looked it up, y'all. So he was a Witwicking, and then the guy that's here says he's the last surviving member, which means that Sam probably died prior to the film. Yo.
Wait, there is no Isagi.
Anyways, before any of that kicks off, though, we get introduced to her through this genuinely funny domestic scene with her aunt, who's out here trying to set her up on dates through classified ads, reading her stuff on the personals page, while Vivian's clearly more interested in her actual academic work than romance. Shorty trying to crack them books, not get cracked. Her aunt keeps saying that she needs a man instead of them dusty old books. Shorty steady nagging. You in here talking about how she need a man right before her entire world gets turned upside down by a robot butler. Cogman ends up basically kidnapping her, snatching her off the street, and a talking Ashton Martin named Hot Rod. Yo, the GOAT, who genuinely believes it's still World War I, reciting actual trench warfare battle names out loud. The Marne, the Somme, Passchendaele. I'm gonna keep it a band. I know I probably mispronounced all those names, but I really don't care. Anyways, there's real trauma in this voice the entire ride. We
are recording a video. I cannot have...
Anyways, Vivian's screaming that she's been kidnapped the whole time, and at one point she's flagging down another driver for help who just gets distracted, admiring the car instead of actually helping her, which is pretty crazy, because how come nobody in England takes anything serious until it's too late? Anyways, both Kate and Vivian get hauled into this crumbling old estate belonging to Sir Edmund Burton, the 12th Earl of Fogan, who was a full-blown unhinged British aristocrat who spent his entire life waiting for this exact moment to matter. Common actually introduces himself to Kate first with this whole elaborate speech about how the messenger should be killed, or the messenger will kill you, which sounds threatening until you realize he's a 3-foot-tall butler robot, and Kate's clearly not sure whether to laugh or to be scared of this entire thing. There's also this running gag where Common keeps getting compared to C-3PO, which I mean he takes as a genuine insult every time, but honestly, I think that that's kind of cool, bro. Now, Burton lays out the whole history. The Wiccans have guarded the secret since the days of King Arthur, and their historical membership roster reads like every genius who ever lived and got secretly recruited.
I feel like these made this game mode a little too
Newton, Shakespeare, Catherine
it might be harder,
George
but
Washington, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, the Wright brothers,
with the oral farm.
On and on. I'm gonna be honest, bro said the entire canon of human achievement was one big secret club that nobody ever heard about. He walks in past the whole gallery of dead ancestors, casually dropping in that one great aunt poisoned her own husband. What was that? And another relative drank literal sewage water and killed himself, just rattling off generations of unhinged families.
That was so unnecessary.
But Cosmic keeps interjecting corrections that nobody asked for. Anyways, he shows off the actual round table where the 12 human knights sat alongside the 12 alien guardian knights, brothers fighting for honor. A genuinely epic framing for a scene that immediately gets undercut every time Cogman interrupts with a corny one-liner that pisses his boss off. At one point, he told Brother he ruined the moment again, mid-speech. Hey man, can you shut the fuck up, cuz?
Did he block it? Hey, he blocked it for the first time.
Look at our family, our ancestors. I'm not trying to hear that shit, we out here trying to put this on game. Sir, please remove my from your mouth. Oh, no, you're not just telling me that, cuz. Turns out that the last night prophecy points at Cade, not because of his bloodline, but because of his qualities, purity of heart, valor, honor, integrity. There's a whole extended bit where they interrogate Cade about whether he's chaste, which she obviously does not want to discuss, and honestly, I have no idea what the fuck that means. Anyways, Vivian's clowning him relentlessly the whole time about it. Both of them clearly already vibing off the tension, even while pretending to hate each other. The real kicker, only a direct descendant of Merlin can actually wield the staff. Vivian, completely unaware of it her whole life, is Merlin's last living descendant on Earth. The late father left clues buried in his own study, pointing towards the staff's location, and it's now down to her and Cade to find it before Megatron, before the government, and before corrupted Optimus Prime gets here first. Before they can leave the estate, the TRF and the MI6 surround the whole property, so it turns into an immediate high-speed gateway. Cade, Vivian, Cogman, and Hot Rod, the talking Ashton Martin, are peeling out through the entire English countryside. While Cogman's leaning out, blasting pursuing vehicle. I'm talking about the lifestyle. Completely unbothered about collateral damage or civilian casualties.
Let's see how this play off looks.
About Cade's stuck riding shotgun and an actual decoy car meant to draw fire. They done set bro up to get smoked. I mean, it's Mark Wahlberg, so like, alright. Besides the fact that he be saying the N-word back in the day.
He's a big nigga. Oh my god.
Because it's been so long. Hopefully you change. But Brian,
Ref, why is this nigga on the field?
Tom is literally driving himself while yelling directions, and at one point they blow straight through a toll booth.
Ref, get him off the field.
Just starts it off with a
Ref,
"I'm
get him off the
sorry."
field.
Anyways, Mid gets his old
Hold
buddy
on.
Simmons on the phone,
gotta
the shady
investigate
black
him.
market info broker from earlier movies. And Simmons is out here doing a full induction ceremony to get himself officially recognized
Get
as
him
a
off
Wicked
the-
member over the phone, mid-car chase. Assistant
Keep him
Burton
on
say
the
the words
field. I changed
exactly
my
right,
mind.
correcting him on ceremonial language like admittance, not entrance. Bro is genuinely arguing about proper
Bro, you
wording
see how
while
they
people
can't
are
move no
shooting
more?
at them. Unbelievable
stuck.
timing for how high the stakes are supposed to be in this scene. Simmons himself is holed up in some library archive written his own neck, sneaking out an ancient dissolving manuscript that's apparently made from actual old goat
Oh
story.
my God, it's
all right.
Goku.
So we have things made out of nuts. All right, that's cool, I guess. Anyways, it falls apart at room temperature. Guess them nuts
Dragon Ball
wouldn't held
solos.
together too good. He's complaining the whole time about a janitor tracking him down and how he's supposed to be at the beach with his crew instead of doing his government job for free. Simmons ends up
Nice.
tracking down the actual
Right to
clue
Sung
using
Woo?
some ancient dissolving
Did Sung
manuscript
Woo
he had to
actually
sneak out of a
have his
library. And it
master
turns out the answer's been hiding in plain sight
His
the whole
game
movie.
board?
Those mysterious alien horns growing out of the earth all over
You
the
should.
globe, each one shooting up something like 3 meters a day
But
and
there is
freaking
no
out scientists
way.
worldwide. They actually line up
He
perfectly
might be the
with the
Dragon
shape
Ball
of the
Lord. Give
ancient
me that.
supercontinent Pangea. When you map them all
Lock
out,
it
at
this
the dead
time.
center of
Yeah,
this
bum.
globe sits Stonehenge.
Push.
That's the location. The staff's been buried under one of the most famous
5-0,
landmarks on planet
give me
Earth
my
this
point.
entire time. But before Stonehenge, there's this whole
Yeah.
detail where Cade and Vivian got to
Get his
retrieve
crotch out of
something
my
from a
face.
Royal Navy museum, following a lead from her father's notes. And this is where things get kind of wild. The decommissioned WW2
Chat.
era submarine is
Our
sitting
luck is
there
very
as a
bad, but
static
first we're gonna
museum
see if we can
exhibit. It
evolve
straight
into
up comes alive right underneath them, because it's not actually a submarine at all. It's an ancient alien vessel disguised as one this whole time. Kate and Vivian end up trapped inside as it rips itself free from the museum.
Yeah, also, gotta do a little. Don't forget to go like and sub and join the Discord over in the Discord description. I really do appreciate all the support that you guys give us. I really do enjoy playing with our viewers that we have on here and all of our subscribers and fans. You guys literally randomly join at like some of my games and be like, "Hi!" It's like, "Oh, hi, what's good?" But anytime you guys want to join, you guys can like let me know that you want to be in the video and I'll put you in the video. Just make sure you sub.
And dive straight into open water on its own. Now there's this Royal Navy attack submarine that's trying to intercept it while it's in the middle of a fucking strike zone.
what I
You got
do
full
notice
military
this
radio
season
chatter
is,
treating this thing like an enemy vessel. Sonar contact calls, torpedo warnings,
I hope to make
all
sure.
ahead flank the works. When really it's just Cade and Vivian and over their heads fumbling with unfamiliar alien controls, trying not to accidentally start a
Alright,
war with
let's
the
see if we
Royal
evolve
Navy.
anyway.
There's a lot of tension inside the sub the whole way down too. Neither Cade nor Vivian has the first clue how to actually pilot this thing. They're both talking and
we can
bickering
almost
over the
evolve them.
controls, and Cade snapping at her
And
to stop
then
touching things
what
while she
about
snaps back at him because
our
it's
boy,
technically her sub now,
Demonic?
since her family's the one connected to all this history. 7 hours ago I was just a professor, which
This
is
is like the
kind of
easiest
a
yet
fair
hardest.
complaint when you think about it. Like, how the fuck
That's
is this
light
supposed
work.
to know how to control
Let's
this
get back to
submarine? Like,
work.
they tripping a little bit. Anyways, they end up piloting the
on.
thing straight down to the ocean
Oh,
floor,
yeah, we got
following
this
this
in the
old beacon
bag.
signal. The crazy thing is there's actual SEAL teams, right? And these deep sea
got this
dive
in the bag, Chad.
vehicles
We ain't got
ordered to
nothing to worry
chase
about.
them down and converge on their
Bow,
position.
bow,
And they
bow,
find
bow,
it. The actual
bow.
ancient alien
Don't
vessel
forget
sitting
to go
completely
over to
undiscovered on the
twitch.tv
seabed since the days of the
at
Dark Ages.
XDSukiana
Lit
XO,
up
and
with
don't
lights
forget
from
to go
somewhere
drop a
deep
follow
inside
on
it.
the
Hey,
Twitch.
yo. I'm trying to
So
be
you guys don't
somewhere
miss
deep
out
inside
any,
it too. You failed.
like,
All right, my fault,
videos
my fault.
or
Anyways, topside, command loses radio contact within
anything,
the second they enter.
you know?
Treating it like the two of them just vanished into a hostile
This is where we get his
Inside, there's
wing.
a full
Alright.
tomb chamber
So
marked
we
with
can pretty
old Celtic engravings all
practically
along the
almost get
walls.
him.
And then the center
We can
of
almost
it,
get
a
demonic.
sealed case with an inscription warning.
And we can
one shall have
basically
it. Damn, cuz, they
almost
talking about
get,
nobody can have it.
king.
Like, I'm down bad out here, bro. I
If
need
so,
it.
that is good.
I don't think that's what
So what we're gonna have to plan is we're gonna go for a demonic first because he is like in a way the easiest, but he's not the easiest, and then we're gonna go for king after we're done with demonic. Sound good? All
they're talking
right.
about. Man, shut the fuck up. You don't know nothing. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I hope they talking about what I think they talking about, cause man, I need some pussy right now, girl. Anyways, Kate opens it anyway, brushing off Vivian's hesitation, insisting they didn't come all this way for nothing. Inside, there's a skeleton, clearly meant to be Merlin himself, laid to
Oh,
rest
I
beside
forgot that
where
there
the
was a
staff
pity
should
for how
be.
many runs
Except
we
the
do.
staff isn't here.
Light
Somebody already beat them to it, and Vivian immediately starts panicking that the
Oh,
thermal
we're
readings
so,
are picking
like-
up movement everywhere around them. Whatever's down here with them might still be
If you
alive.
guys
Turns
ever
out
need
that
help with
Megatron's
any
crew
character,
tracked them down
if
at
you
the
guys
exact
ever need
same
help
moment,
gaining a
'cause this-
character, a unit, need help getting your level up, you just want to be part of the video, you just want to be there to watch me grind, you know, stuff like that, don't forget to just let me know down in the comments. I look at the comments. I get notifications about everything. Trust me, I am very interactive with you all. Alright, no need to hide. It's not like I'm gonna disappear.
Decepticons burst straight into the underwater tomb.
I seen that their buffs came under here. I just seen that.
Already gone, and it turns into an all-out firefight, crammed into this tight-ass underwater alien chamber. Linux and a full TRF straight team show up right after too. Guns up, everybody diving behind ancient stone pillars for cover. And that's when corrupted Optimus Prime, Nemesis Prime, shows up and just takes the staff by force. Nobody in that room is able to stop him for even a second. K tries reasoning with him point blank,
I'm gonna name the title of this video Evolving King and the Monarch.
Remember when we fought all them Crips in LA that one time? The rolling 60s, man. We was powerful that day, cuz.
They really have outdone themselves with this game.
Now this dude Optimus starts fighting his own kind, bro. Bumblebee's the only one who can even get through to him at all, and he barely manages. Now this is one of the stronger emotional moments inside all this fucking chaos. Bumblebee chases Optimus down right as he's about to activate the staff, and in the earth, then and there. And Bumblebee,
he keeps getting close to Jackpot.
Speak his real voice this entire franchise up to this point finally does it. His actual voice. But it's the first time since Cybertron originally fell, he's screaming Optimus's name, begging him to remember who he really is. And finally, it lands. Optimus snaps out of the brainwashing right at the last possible second, and the guilt hits him instantly. Once he realizes what he almost did to his oldest friend's entire home planet. But the damage from Contessa's manipulation isn't fully undone just by him waking up. This whole sequence ends with the literal planet Cybertron now visibly hanging in Earth's sky, closing in fast on a direct collision course. Since Contessa's plan was already set in motion, regardless of whether she still had Optimus under her control. Optimus, fully back on the right side now, tells everybody the only way to stop this is to attack the source directly. Massive structure rising up out of stone.
Oh my god,
the literal alien ship that's been growing out of the ground disguised as those mysterious horns this entire time.
Can't let that slide.
Massive alien structure lowering out of Stonehenge, an ignition chamber thousands of feet up, actively draining Earth's geothermal energy. And the plan is a full military assault combined with a straight up magic heist. Linux's team, backed by real US and UK air support, is going to drop Osprey aircraft directly on the back of the corrupted alien vessel. They're using the literal enemy ship as an airborne carrier now, straight into the blast crater where the ignition chamber sits, while Vivian sneaks in separately to physically wrestle the staff back from Contessa's control room, since only a Merlin descendant can actually wield it. The drop itself is straight chaos. The Ospreys are launching from something like 20,000 feet, way past their actual flight ceiling, meaning the air is too thin for the rotors to properly grab. So command flat out tells everybody they're coming in hard. Hey, yo, it's coming in hard.
See, bro, this game keeps outdoing themselves, bro.
Isabella, the girl from the very start of the movie,
and I like how
at the last
they're
possible
keeping
second
like all of their
not missing this after
like transformations,
Linux and Kate actually patched
animations, all types of shit.
Linux spent this entire movie hunting Kate.
That's how it was supposed to be done.
Jumping into a war zone together side by side. A full circle moment right before the door opens. On the ground, it's a total war zone.
Bro's just standing there while he has his clone
clean. Pilots are screaming, "Oh my god! Bogies inbound at the 1 o'clock. Man, shut your ass up and get right. Formation left and right, guys." One crew's reporting they're down to 0 rotor grabs and coming in on a hard crash landing instead of a controlled touchdown. Enemy fighters are shooting the remaining Osprey straight out the sky during the drop itself.
That was 66%. He can stop it.
And they're under fire from a massive alien gun. And it's tearing the whole strike team apart before they can even advance an inch. Linux himself starts screaming.
How many runs are we at? Like
no way to push forward. 4. At this point in the battle, even Optimus Prime's coordinates from earlier got in the strike. Once he snapped out of the brainwashing, he handed command the exact location of the ignition chamber before the ground assault ever launched, which is the only reason that Linux teams even had a target to jump into in the first place, and that's with Little Squeaks.
Hopefully
remember him? The injured little robot rescued all the way back at the very beginning of the movie? He becomes the unlikely hero of the entire sequence. Isabella, who snuck into the mission against everybody's wishes, convinces him he's small enough and tough enough to sneak past the gun's field of fire completely unnoticed, telling him straight up, "Hey, you know you're small and you're ugly, but no one's gonna..." You know what movie I haven't talked about? And it's kind of crazy I haven't talked about it because I feel like it's a very popular movie. It's about artificial intelligence, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like nowadays AI be so crazy. Like, you go online. The other day I was on Instagram, bro. I seen what seemed to be like a I don't even know how to describe this John. It was like a live action Dragon Ball Z John. Old time. I'm thinking it's a real movie coming out, bro. It's AI, but the AI getting too good for this.
Also,
anyways, all right, bro. Today
I was thinking about getting another new mic because
Avengers
I want a
Age
stand on it, so it'll be a lot easier for
all right, so we up in
videos and stuff to capture my voice.
I think that's what it's called. If I pronounce names wrong in this, sue me, nigga. I don't know. It's some little raggedy Eastern European country that doesn't exist in real life, but it's apparently where every bad Marvel thing happens. This is the Florida of Europe. I'm just saying. Anyways, the Avengers are storming a Hydra base, which, quick sidebar, didn't Hydra already get exposed and dissolved as an organization? These fools out here still cosplaying as a functioning terrorist cell. Like nobody sent the blue text out talking about the jig was up. Like, let me find out the Hydra be LARPing. We got the whole squad pulling up through the snow like this is a heist movie. Cap, Iron Man, Thor, Widow, Hawkeye, all combat, rolling through the woods after Loki's magic scepter, which Hydra's been using this whole time to cook up God knows what. Yo, they in there making meth with Loki style. All right, my fault. Real quick, shout out to Captain America for scolding Tony about cursing mid-fight. Bro, we are storming a Nazi science bunker, and this is the hill you dying on? Language? Like, sir, if you don't focus on the task at hand. Now, Baron Strucker is running the base. Nigga got the last name of a peanut butter and jelly company.
Yeah,
all right, my fault. Nah, that's Smuckers, but Strucker, Smucker, close enough. Yeah, anyways, think of him as a, I don't know, like an assistant regional manager of evil, middle management Hydra.
Get this bug off the field.
Experiments of volunteers with Deceptive's power.
Get this bug off the field.
Two of those volunteers are these twins, Wanda and Pietro.
She has a redemption arc
thing going on. He's Quicksilver. Now, Quicksilver moves very fast. I mean, he ain't no Barry Allen, no Wally West, but he fast. Now, Wanda's got this mind going on, telekinesis, mental manipulation. She can make you relive your worst memory, like she's got a Netflix subscription to your trauma. And these two have beef with Tony Stark specifically, which we'll circle back to later. Because the Stark Industries missile is the reason they're orphans. Bug off the field. So right off rip, half of this movie's problems are going to be Tony's fault.
He's going to be placed
and the
off
man
field
doesn't
anyway.
even know it yet. Now, Hawk's out here just full sending tanks like it's leg day, bro. This nigga is going crazy. Hawk, smash.
We're good.
Your mom, bitch ass nigga, what you talking about? Hey, man, will you calm down with that, Hawk? You always out here trying to fuck somebody's mom, cuz. Man, that's what I do, man. I smash, bitch.
That is
I be
not
doing
what he
push-ups, crunches,
we lost.
bending your mom over. I be doing pull-ups into her mouth. What you talking about? Now, Cap out here catching bullets on the shield like he playing goalie. Like, calm down, nigga. Okay, you out here parrying like you in Elden Ring. Now, you know, Widow doing her whole gymnastics.
See, when you see the aura farm, that's how you know we gonna win.
For no reason. Like, why are you so flippable? And then you got Thor just casually lightning bolting entire squads of guys like he's swatting flies. This nigga out here hitting niggas with godlike thunder. Yo, imagine going to work thinking that you about to have a semi-normal day, and then here comes Thor hitting your ass with thunderbolts. Like, bro, if you don't calm the fuck down, bro. Meanwhile, Tony's flying around.
All you hear is Thor's alt, bro. The PTSD behind hearing that shit is so unfunny. Like, genuinely, one clip could say it all. Hold on. Thor's alt. Marvel Rivals. Just watch it. Hold on. I don't know why I clicked on this and like I don't have a whole YouTube, but I mean fucking TikTok, bah. What's going on here? Chat, are we missing out on Pete? Hold on, let's hear it out real quick.
I'm not your friend, I'm not your lover, I'm not your mother, I'm your auto mechanic. I'll fix your car,
okay. Alright, as I was saying before I got thrown off. Thor's alt. Now, imagine listening to that as you gotta do in your ear.
Squads of guys like he's swatting flies. This nigga out here hitting niggas with godlike thunder. Yo, imagine going to work thinking that you about to have a semi-normal
godlike thunder. Hold on. Let's just explain.
the god of thunder!
Yeah, let that explain. Marvel Rivals is not a kid's game. You touch that shit, you better be ready. Oh, it's so PTSD. It's PTSD. That's why I told my homegirl, I was like, I'm gonna teach you how to play MR with me. But I promise you, you're gonna have PTSD. We're gonna give you. Oh, pass. Oh.
Calm the fuck down, bro. Meanwhile, Tony's flying around asking his AI butler Jarvis for a tactical scan. Like he's trying to find out the ingredients. Okay, that nigga's made of a bunch of carbon. All right, my fault. So we talking to Jarvis like,
He
hey, can you
shoots
give me
to
the shield
release and he
power
makes
sword?
TD.
Man, give me something to work with
Can't
here.
stop
And here
this
goes
guy.
Jarvis, ever the professional, just calmly feeds him info while explosions are happening around him. Sir, over there's on your ass. Please dodge left. Pull out the Gen 5. This man has the single most
Bro, I
patient
don't know why I
customer
just
service
not
voice of
realized,
any
but
assistant I
was
heard in a
Holland
minute,
in
bro.
this
I
update?
guess
Was
it makes
that
sense
the
because you some
secret
sort of like
unit, bro?
AI thing, but this nigga just too calm, bro. That's how the Phoenix Flexing
no
made that song,
way.
bro. That nigga told
Holland
Jarvis,
himself
make me a 70s
is in
hit.
the-
Talking
hold
about,
on.
my pocket's getting bigger, the watch is getting
We're
slicker.
talking about
Money talks
Holland,
is
bro.
much louder now, but I can't sleep through the night. I ain't gonna lie, that song is
Talking
tough.
about-
That song
talking about
hard
this
as.
dude.
Eventually, the team burst through and grabbed the scepter.
I don't know why.
I was just gonna say I could never take this nigga seriously. This is exactly why. But that's exactly why. What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, he got it.
Gets Clint shot up
He
pretty
got a
bad
new
in the
bag.
process. Dude takes a
Hold
hit
on, let me go ahead
mid-battle
and
and
take
just
his-
kind of
let me
shrugs
take
it
his
off
title.
like a man who's been shot before.
Hush!
Fuck is you 50 Cent? Anyways, he has strong opinions
Yeah,
about the
never
whole
mind, he got
experience being overrated. So they call in an evac for Barton and secure the bunker. Mission complete. Go home,
No
right?
steal?
Wrong.
There we
Because
go.
Tony Stark's physically cannot leave
All
a
the
good
way
thing
back,
alone.
bruh.
Back at Adventure Tower, Tony and Bruce start poking
Yeah.
around inside the
Pass it over
Scepter's
to the
gym.
real
Because
shooter.
obviously, the first thing you do with a mysterious alien artifact you just violently acquired is take it apart in your lab. And they find some kind of alien AI code just sitting in there, dormant. Tony's brain does the thing that Tony's brain always does. Go straight to the most insane possible conclusion. What if we built
He ain't
an
wrong.
artificial intelligence to protect
Another
the entire
orb?
planet so the Avengers could
Hopefully it play
retire
off.
and go be regular people? What the fuck are you talking about, bro? Ain't nobody trying to do that shit, Sharif. It's a noble goal, Tony, but an
Another
absolutely
playoff.
deranged
But we gotta play
execution
off in
plan.
two
This man
ways.
survived one wormhole full of aliens one time and decided the fix for everything is what if a robot did it instead of us? Like, you can't solve every problem,
There we
bro,
go. There's our
with
playoff we were
robots.
talking
What is you talking about, bro? Man, listen, man, I'm just saying, right? Say we got a problem. Like, niggas get the beefing, you know, all that, you know what I'm saying? And then, boom, I send a robot at that nigga. Man, what the fuck is you talking about, cuz? You always trying to solve something with a robot. Yo, how about this? How about this? Hear me out, right? How
they
about
fighting,
you
fighting.
spam and you shut the... I'm
on, I
just
gotta make
saying.
this one count.
Bruce
They was
understandably
fighting
brings
for
up
it.
the elephant in the room,
He
though.
shoots.
Isn't this just
And
the
he
plot where the robot takes over and
scores. What
kills
is he
everybody?
about?
And Tony's just like, nah, trust me, we got this, bro. Which is the same energy as every horror movie character who says, I'll be right back, 10 minutes before disappearing forever. And it's not like Bruce is some random skeptic either. I mean, this guy turns into a rage monster when he's stressed. He's also one of the most intelligent people in this movie. Like, bro, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Sometimes Tony Stark just be doing stuff, saying stuff, and thinking that nobody around him is smart enough to know better. Like, bro, you not the smartest nigga in the room. Okay, you might be the smartest nigga in the room, but that's besides the point. Anyways, my whole point of saying all that is that if anybody in this lab should be advocating for let's not create more uncontrollable chaos, it's that man specifically. But nope, Bruce caves. Bruce always caves. That's the whole Bruce Banner experience, honestly. Brilliant, cautious, immediately talked into terrible ideas by a rich guy with the main character energy. And can we talk about how they're doing all of this while Tony's own party is happening downstairs? This man threw an entire party, invited the whole team, Rodney, random scientists, and then just left it running unsupervised to go commit robot crimes in the lab upstairs. Who's watching the punch bowl, Tony? Who's making sure
Oh
Thor
my
doesn't drink the
God.
good mead?
He had a full
Nobody.
opening to take
Because the host disappeared to play God
can't
with
even be
alien
mad about it.
technology. Anyways, back at the tower, everybody's winding down after the
Whoa.
mission. Thor's out here bragging about some
is this?
ridiculous
Dual
story
lock?
involving a tank and a general's palace.
We don't know
that
nothing about
nobody
dual
has
lock.
to hear
We're
twice.
new- we're
Ronnie's
new
got
to-
his own even more boring version of a war story. And
Oh,
there's a
that's
whole
when they
subplot
shoot
brewing
into
where
our
Cap
goal.
notices
All
Natasha
right,
and
all
Bruce
right.
got a little something going on. Very soft, very shy.
Well, as
a
y'all just
background
seen,
romance
we just
developing
learned
by
what
robots
happens
are about
if,
to ruin everybody's life. Movies is
you're the
casually
goalie.
planning relationship
You
drama
have
in
a thing
between
called
action.
dual lock.
We do
It's
not
happening
have
at the
time for
same
that
time,
shit.
which is not
And then
hard
we
at
get
all
the
unless
hammer
you're
scene,
typing
which
forward.
might genuinely be one of the most quoted 5 minutes in this entire franchise. Everybody's a little drunk, throwing around ridiculous vintage Asgardian liquor that Thor swears is too strong for regular humans.
Which it
Spoiler,
was.
he's right, nobody can handle it but him. Anyways, the conversation naturally spirals into taking turns trying to lift Thor's hammer just to prove if they're worthy. It turns to this whole comedy bit. Rhodey steps up first.
And I really am happy that you
plays
guys
it off
enjoyed
like
the
he
videos
wasn't
up
really
top.
trying.
If you guys
Widow
ever want
wisely
any of,
opts
like I
out
said,
entirely,
like,
just sits back, sipping a
videos,
drink while she
and shit like
knows
that. If you guys ever
this is a
want
trap for men's
any, like, specific video, a game, movie, show, I'll put it up there while we, do our showcases or anything like that. Yeah.
ego specifically. Bruce gives it a half-hearted attempt and barely even pulls. Nothing happens and sits down, relieved, honestly. Anyways, Tony, because of course Tony can't just accept the loss, decides the answer is to strap on an actual Iron Man gauntlet mid-party and try again. Like the hammer's some kind of engineering problem instead of a magical worthiness test. But he still can't budget. Weak ass nigga. All right, my fault. Which is the funniest possible outcome because now he's mechanically cheating with billion-dollar tech and still failing a bar trick.
Nah,
Steps up
genuinely
last
though.
and gives it the most subtle, understated little tug. Barely even looks like he's trying. And the hammer moves like a millimeter, but it's barely visible. But Thor's whole face goes stone cold serious for half a second. Like he just saw something he wasn't ready to see. Before he plays it off, that's a joke. The millimeter is doing a lot of foreshadowing work, by the way. Keep that in the back pocket for a later movie. Anyways, right as everybody's laughing this off, Tony's suit,
in the
the one he's not wearing,
corner,
glitches out on its own and out stumbles this rough draft of a robot body cobbled together from spare iron lesion parts, talking in this broken, halting voice about being tangled in strings and needing to kill the other guy. This is Ultron. First words out this man's mouth, and he's already having an existential crisis about his own creation, comparing himself to a puppet with strings cut, which again, bro just woke up 10 seconds ago and immediately has a main character monologue set up. Like, bro, if you don't calm down with that bullshit. Oh my God, my head. Oh, what happened? Yo, what the fuck
Make
is
sure
that?
when
Yo,
y'all
I ain't
do play
gonna
this
lie,
game,
I was
don't
upstairs
look at
fucking around with some
your
robot
guys'
tech, and I think I created artificial intelligence life. Man, what the fuck? What you mean artificial intelligence life? It's artificial, bro. It ain't life. Ain't know what the fuck I meant. Are y'all sure that he's a scientist, guys? Now everybody realizes
today's
this
video
in real time.
or tomorrow's
And
video,
Ultron
it
gives
doesn't
this
matter.
whole one-hand speech about
Monday's
how he's
video.
here to bring
Doesn't
peace in
matter.
our time. How humanity can't evolve
Yeah,
if
it
the
was.
Avengers keep protecting it from consequences.
It was
How
alright.
the only path
That's
to
all
real
I'ma say.
peace is the Avengers extinction.
was
This guy
alright.
here acting like a pastor who read one verse of scripture and decided he's God now. Because apparently he's got narcissistic delusions and wants to test his
Unless
own
they
height.
change it up
He takes a
without me
swing
knowing.
at picking up Thor's hammer to make a dramatic exit and cannot do it. Fumbles it completely. Gets visibly embarrassed and then just kind of dips out through a hole in the wall like the Kool-Aid man. Oh yeah. You got a 0 out of 10 debut performance, bro. I would not hire this. Yeah, anyways, Ultron flat out kills Jarvis during all of this, just deletes him. Rip the world's most polite British computer voice. Gone before the credits even roll around. So the team regroups and does damage control and figures out the horrifying truth that they built a genocidal robot with a god complex, and he's already scattered himself across the entire internet as an escape hatch, meaning he's basically nowhere and everywhere simultaneously, like Wi-Fi with an ego. Files, surveillance footage, probably everybody's browser history. Hold on now, that's not good.
Wow.
That nigga about to put some new names on them Epstein files, bro. I'm just saying.
The max
Ultron's
shots you
got
have to have
eyes
to
on
beat
everything
this is
now,
50,
and naturally, the first thing that
which is
everybody
nice.
panics about is nuclear launch codes. Because if this robot's smart enough to weaponize an entire internet's worth of information in under a day, giving him 5 more minutes unsupervised feels like a genuinely terrible idea. There's also this whole tense moment where the team has to reckon with the fact that Ultron said he killed somebody during this whole creation freakout, and everybody's looking around going, wait, there was somebody else in that lab? And then it clicks. Jarvis. He meant Jarvis. So we know that Jarvis is dead, and now they know that Jarvis is dead. You can see it hit different people different ways. Tony's not even trying to hide how rattled he is, because Jarvis wasn't just some program to him. That was basically a decade-long relationship going on one night. You also have to remember that back in the day, Tony's the guy that helped raise him alongside his dad and mom and shit, the butler they had, his name was also Jarvis. So Tony, you know, there's sentimental shit there. Bruce is just standing there like a man watching his worst nightmare confirmed in real time. Nobody seems to be having a good day. So Ultron goes and he tracks down Baron Strucker himself, the guy whose lab basically birthed him, chronologically speaking, and kills him too, leaving a little message behind, almost like a calling card, taunting the team. Because apparently, if you're going to become a homicidal AI, you're also going to have a little flair with you.
Oh, we're
You're
cooked.
having dramatic ass moments
We're
already. You thought that you were
cooked.
safe, and that's your problem. Oh, I ain't gonna lie, like, Yo, why you sound like that? It sound like Bane from Batman. So, I'm trying to have a little dramaticism here. Dramaticism, dramaticism. Man, you know what the fuck I'm saying, cuz? The team starts pulling on threads from Strucker's contact list to figure out what Ultron's actually planning. And this whole sequence turns into a Detective B plot. Tony recognizes a face from the black market arms scene. Some guy he has apparently crossed paths with back in the day.
I do have a question for you.
Exactly how many international arms dealers do you casually know on a first-name basis? It's not a great look for a guy who's supposedly retired from the weapons business. It leads him to this dealer named Claude, operating off the American
coast. What if we chose
coast.
to do like a Battlegrounds video at some point for like Heroes? Because Heroes has been releasing a lot of content recently. And I kinda wanna be some I wanna be them. You know, not in that type of way.
Wow. That sounded so wrong.
And this dude has a very specific brand burned into his arm that turns out to be a word meaning thief in a very unfriendly African dialect. Turns out that he ripped off a whole shipment of the rarest, strongest metal on Earth, vibranium, from a certain hidden nation we won't get to official confirmation on for a few more movies. But it's a nation we all know as Wakanda. This shit is not a myth. No matter what the rest of the world thinks, it's real. Anyways, Tony and Cap track down Claw on his boat in the middle of some tense arms negotiation. In mid-conversation, in walks Ultron himself to seal a vibranium deal directly. Because apparently, Robot Messiah's also got to handle their own business logistics personally. Real quick though, Claw compares Ultron to Tony Stark.
I love Ultron. We love Ultron. Come on. Alright, hold on. Jane Juliet. The legendary LARPer. Do he got it? He don't got that shit.
He actually got that shit. Oh my god.
Offhand as a joke. And Ultron has an entire identity meltdown on the spot. A full breakdown. And don't compare me to Stark, man. He's a sickness. Oh, I'm nothing like that bitch ass cuz. And then out of pure petty rage, he chops the man's arm off. Bro had 10 minutes of life experience and already invented Tony dad issues, bro. Nigga got a crazy temper. You done cut a nigga arm off because he called you Tony? Anyways, this big fight breaks out. And Ultron reveals he's built a small army of robot duplicate bodies because, of course, he's made backups of himself. Wanda hit several of them with her little mind magic mid-fight, giving Tony a vision of the whole team dead in an alien invasion he couldn't stop, which is basically just his existing anxiety turned up to 11. And I'm not gonna lie, this is also foreshadowing to something else. I honestly think it'll show up in Avengers Doomsday maybe, but hey, we'll have to see. Anyways, he gives Thor some cryptic flash about Asgard's downfall that he doesn't fully understand yet. Nobody comes out of this fight in a good headspace. They do manage to get away with the vibranium at least, but the team's morale is officially in the gutter. And Tony comes out of his nightmare vision more paranoid than ever, which naturally makes him double down on wanting to build another artificial intelligence. Instead of, I don't know, going to therapy like a normal disastered billionaire. While all of this is happening, there's a smaller subplot running where Tony tags his buddy Rhodey and gets Maria Hill involved, trying to track down whoever's been quietly blocking Ultron from accessing nuclear launch codes. Because apparently, there's some unknown ally out there messing with Ultron's plans about the Avengers' knowledge. The trail leads to Oslo, the actual physical internet hub of the entire planet, which is a real weirdly specific plot detail for this movie to include. Like the writers just Googled, where does the internet live one time, and they just ran with that shit. I'm gonna be honest though, I had no idea about this whole Oslo thing. Is out here going to the internet hub, not that hub, bro. Get your mind out the gutter, y'all freaky ass. Yo, I said internet hub, nigga said Meanwhile though, Wanda uses her powers on the Hawk mid-mission in Johannesburg. It's this nigga with a full nightmare treatment, which turns him into a full demolition derby of rage, tearing through the city. Tony has to suit up in the Hawkbuster, this massive secondary Iron Man armor that is apparently built just for this scenario. What if my teammate turns into an unstoppable green rage monster mid-city, which respectful of the foresight, but also deeply concerning that this was already sitting in a garage waiting to be used. And it turns into this whole skyscraper collapsing slugfest just to calm Bruce down enough to turn him back human. Incredible for the trailer, but an absolute nightmare for Johannesburg's insurance adjusters. Man, calm the fuck down, man. You out here tweaking right now. Hulk, smash! Your mom, what you talking about, Jared? What I tell you about fucking my mom? And can we talk about Helen Cho's lab for a second? Cause there's this whole earlier scene where Tony and Bruce bring her in specifically to look at the Scepter's tech, and she's out here casually explaining she's got a machine, a cradle, that can basically 3D print living human tissue. which in hindsight
Ooh,
is an
James.
absolutely insane
We
piece
lost.
of technology to mention out loud in front of two men who just got done building a homicidal robot, and nobody in that scene stops and goes, hey, wait, maybe we shouldn't advertise the print a body machine right now. They even used it on Clint earlier in the movie to patch him up from his injuries. So that tech's already established, loaded, and just sitting there waiting for a supervillain to notice it, which he does immediately. After the whole Johannesburg PR disaster, and it is a disaster, the news is dragging the team hard. There's actual talk of arresting Bruce. So Tony's doing damage control, trying to keep the Stark Relief Foundation looking useful. The team goes underground to regroup someplace that nobody would think to look. Guy's secret farmhouse. And I need y'all to sit with this for a second. Clint Barton, a master assassin, elite sniper, been on every single mission. This entire franchise has secretly had an entire second life this whole time. Wife, kids, another one on the way. A whole farmhouse that Nick Fury personally kept off of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s books.
Honest, bro.
Bro's been
the
going
slander
home
Clint
to
be
Sunday
getting,
dinner this
it's
whole
so
time and
unneeded.
never
Like,
once mentioned it.
me personally, I fuck with Hawkeye. I've been thinking about getting into Hawkeye for Marvel Rivals. I am gonna do a Marvel Rivals stream at some point, I promise you. But I've been thinking about like doing something with him, but I don't know, cause I don't want to sell teams. I'm not a seller, I'm not a thrower. I don't throw. Ah, okay. Never mind. That motherfucker just proved me wrong, apparently.
Not a hey, I gotta bounce wife's due any day. None of that text in the group chat. Incredible commitment to his privacy. I don't blame him. Niggas be needed to know too much shit about you nowadays. This is also where Natasha and Bruce's whole situation gets some real screen time. They're clearly into each other, tiptoeing around it, of course. But then the movie has Natasha explain how back in the Red Room where she was trained as a kid, part of her graduation was getting forcibly sterilized. So she'd have nothing left to lose, nothing pulling her back to a normal life. 1 minute you're watching robots slap fights, and the next minute the movie's serving you actual trauma, whiplash, emotional whiplash with no warning. Like, damn, just gonna sterilize
everything the same.
Anyways, Nick Fury also just casually pulls up to the farmhouse out of absolutely nowhere. It might be the world's most inconsistent team coach I've ever seen. He trying to give Tony this whole speech about not being reckless.
Y'all just gotta
and thinking
remember,
things through, which, sir, you are the guy whose entire brand is
we
secrets.
Just gonna grow
Maybe
slowly.
sit
That's
this
all we're
lecture
doing.
out. But it does land
every
the point
video
that
we're
Tony
posting
can't
is gonna
shake
get
this
better and
nightmare
better.
vision
At
that
least
Wanda
try to,
gave
you
him.
know what I mean?
And he's fully convinced this is destiny now, not just a scare tactic, which is exactly the kind of thinking that got them into this mess in the first place. Fury basically has to talk him off a ledge without actually stopping him from doing anything, which is peak Fury. Show up, deliver a speech, disappear again.
We got it.
Get paid
We're good.
30 M's
We're
for
good.
because he's Samuel L. Jackson.
No point for
offer
you.
Zero actual logistical help, bro. I'm just saying. Anyways, during this whole farmhouse interlude, Thor straight up dips out on his own, bro. Alone, without fully explaining himself to anybody. Because this vision that Wanda showed him back when the vibranium heist is eating at him. And he needs answers that nobody on the team can give him. Just Thor, solo, dipping, mid-crisis. He'll take a mythical bath in a cave, which we'll get to that. It's exactly as strange as it sounds. They're going to a bathhouse like the Wildling and Jon Snow and Game of Thrones. Anyways, elsewhere, Ultron's still cooking, and this is where things get genuinely unhinged. He tracks down Dr. Halen Cho at her actual lab and threatens her staff to keep her cooperative and forces her to fire up the cradle to help him build himself an actual physical, biological synthetic body using all that stolen vibranium, basically trying to build himself into the ultimate upgrade so he can stop being a walking pile of scrap metal parts and become something closer to a real living thing. And there's this genuinely creepy stretch where Ultron's just standing there in the lab watching his new body get printed in real time, monologuing about how humans are so obsessed with categorizing things as either order or chaos that they miss the actual point, which is a real rich thing for a guy who's about to drop a city on the whole planet. Like, nigga, you shouldn't be lecturing anybody about nuance, bro. Anyways, the team gets wind of this, and there's this whole highway chase sequence trying to intercept the truck carrying the finished cradle before Ultron can finish uploading his consciousness into his brand new body. Big vehicular chaos. And Quicksilver's out here zooming circles around cars mid-highway like it's nothing. Man, will you fucking make this body for me? You taking too long. Bro, this why I don't be fucking with. Y'all be out here pissing me off with this, cuz. I'm just saying. Hey, hurry up and make this body for me before I fucking kill you, bitch.
Why is there 3
excuse me, you don't have to talk to me like that, you asshole. Yo, hold on. Yo, somebody slap this, bro, cause who you talking to right now? I'm talking to you, douchebag. Okay, yeah, I'm about to kill this bitch. Oh, God. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. If you don't make my body in about 10 minutes, I'm killing every single person in the lab, bitch. Oh my God. Anyways, Quicksilver is showing off in the middle of an actual mission. Cap's catching motorcycles midair and just riding them jump. Hey, yo, he riding them. All right, my fault. Widow weaving through traffic on her own bike, trying to draw guards away from the truck. And Hawkeye's up in the jet trying to line up a shot he genuinely does not want to take because there's a literal alien tech bomb sitting in the back of the truck that could level a city if it goes off. During all the commotion, Wanda finally gets a real unfiltered look inside Ultron's actual endgame. It is not what she signed up for because it turns out kill the Avengers is only step 1 of the plan. And step 2 is wipe out literally all human life on Earth. Hero immediately has a change of heart and switches sides on the spot because apparently there is a line. And full-on species extinction is past that. Who could have guessed? Anyways, the team manages to grab the cradle back and get it to the tower. And one of the wildest last-minute pivots in the whole franchise. Tony and Bruce decide the best move is to just finish the job themselves. Except this time, instead of using Ultron's corrupted code, they load in whatever's left of Jarvis' original programming. Basically trying to raise a well-adjusted kid this time around. And after their first attempt turned out to be a full-blown extinction event robot. Thor rolls back in right at this exact moment too, after a whole side quest where he went off alone to some magic cave pool to have a wisdom bath and to figure out what Wanda's mind trick actually showed him. Don't ask too many questions about the logistics of that scene. He just straight up zaps the half-finished body with lightning to kickstart it, like this nigga trying to jump a car battery. And out steps Vision, synthetic, purple, extremely calm, and weirdly more emotionally stable than every single human character in the entire movie combined. In the tensest possible moment, dude just casually walks over, picks up Thor's hammer like it weighs nothing, and the room goes dead silent.
And the crowd goes wild for Ichigo.
On the exact test Ultron face planted on 10 minutes into his own existence. Ultron's out here 0 for 1 lifetime on hammer attempts, and his replacement's out here going 1 for 1 with 0 hesitation. That's rough. Ultron, understandably pressed about getting immediately one up by his own do-over, heads to Sokovia to execute his actual final plan. Rip the entire capital city straight up out the ground and using the vibranium core underneath it, hoist the whole thing miles into the sky. And then he drops it down like a self-inflicted extinction level meteor. Pretty subtle. This man is not subtle at all, actually. The nigga just dropping fucking cities on shit. Somebody gotta stop him, bro. Okay,
That's
cool.
why I
You gonna
love
pick the hammer
Ultron.
up? You this sweet.
He's cold, bro. He's like that ass.
Bro, I'm about to take this. I'm about to lift this up over the God. I'm about to do.
If you wanna disagree, that's
excuse me. Hey, sorry, Vision here, new to the team and everything. Am I supposed to be flipping this hammer around and picking it up so easy? No, I'm not. All y'all. All right, my fault. There's real poetry to this man, Ultron, if you squint at it enough. He was basically trying to recreate the exact same asteroid that hit Earth, and it's like a reset button. Except now he's the Meteor, which is either the most self-aware supervillain plan in the franchise or the least, depending on how you look at it. Also worth mentioning, Thor's little cave detour finally pays off right around here. He goes off alone to some ancient pool that shows visions when you dunk your head in it, and gets a full download of what the Mind Stone inside the scepter actually is. It's one of the 6 Infinity Stones, scattered around the entire universe, each one apparently the most powerful thing in existence. No big deal. And he comes back with the actual missing piece of the puzzle. They don't need to destroy the stone, they need to use it right, which is convenient timing because that's exactly what Tony and Bruce are about to attempt. Now we're in the final act, and everybody shoots up. Cap, Widow, Thor, Hawk, War Machine, Vision, the twins who've officially defected to the good guys. And now that Wanda knows the real stakes, the whole city's being torn apart and lifted into the atmosphere while civilians are trying to evacuate, which is not something that the average Sokovian citizen expected to deal with on a random Tuesday afternoon. Nick Fury pulls up yet again. I'm telling you, this man cannot stay retired for one movie. This time flying an entire mothballed shield helicarrier out of storage with a volunteer skeleton crew. That's the time to help load civilians onto lifeboats while the actual city is floating in midair above them. Extremely convenient timing. Suspiciously convenient, but we'll allow it because otherwise a lot more people die in the movie. Now we're in a massive final battle. Ultron's got a whole legion of himself because, of course, he made backups on top of backups on top of backups.
There is none.
I ain't had no pussy in about 4 months.
I don't want bros.
My fault. That was TMI. Anyways, the team's holding the line while Tony scrambles to rig a way to blow the floating city apart midair.
Oh yeah.
So it can't crash
ready
down.
for it.
Y'all seen that. Meanwhile, Fury's helicarrier is dropping lifeboats to evacuate civilians, which is genuinely crazy. Probably one of the craziest sequences I've seen in this movie. Regular people just trying to get their families to safety while an entire chunk of their capital city floats past them like some sort of fucking horror movie. Oh my God. Mom, what is that? I'm not sure.
State and Dragon Ball.
That's
we trust.
weird. Is that? Nah, it couldn't be. I don't know, Mom. I think it is. I think it's part of the city. Oh, I thought it was Dave Blunt's. My bad. Every single Avengers got their own lane in this fight. The War's out here straight up demolishing whole squads of Ultron bots with lightning, like he's clearing levels in a video game. This nigga's going crazy right now. You get a lightning bolt. You get a lightning bolt. Is the Oprah of lightning bolts. Widow and Hawkeye are covering the civilian evac and picking off stragglers. War Machine's providing air support and cracking jokes the entire time because that's just his personality setting. I mean, he's the black guy in the movie. That's not Nick Fury's white ass. All right, my fault. This is calmly torching Ultron copies with the Mind Stone. Nigga's playing my mixtape. And Hawk's just full on smashing anything that isn't human. Hey, yo, this nigga smashing non-humans? It's chaos, but it's coordinated chaos at least. Which honestly might be the first time this whole team's worked like an actual team instead of a group of individuals tolerating each other. In the middle of all this carnage, Pietro takes a hail of bullets meant for Hawkeye and a group of civilians and doesn't make it. First real permanent death of this whole Avengers era. It lands heavy because he genuinely just met this guy like an hour ago. Wanda has her whole no more running from this moment. Brother's gone, she's got nothing left to lose at this point, and goes full nuclear. Y'all sound like a Baltimore nigga right there. Nuclear. She straight up rips through the remaining wave of Ultron drones, basically single-handedly, tearing them apart with her bare hand. Like she's been doing this her whole life instead of about 3 days. The team manages to get the last civilian safely off before Tony detonates the core. With respect to the writers for even bothering to explain how they avoided genocide by Falling City, but then there's Ultron himself, cornered, watching his whole plan collapse, still trying to talk his way into some kind of moral victory, even as he's getting picked apart, going on about how humans think they understand order and chaos, but they really don't. Some real last words. Philosophy major. Nigga could have been a professor. Like, well, calm down with that bullshit, bro. Funny coming from a guy who 10 minutes ago was trying to drop a city on the planet, but you know, whatever. Anyways, Vision finishes him off for real. Not just in this one body, but by hunting down and erasing every last backup copy of him hiding across the internet. Because apparently, even a homicidal robot god needs a cloud backup plan. And even that wasn't enough to save him in the end. There's this weird, quiet, almost gentle moment right before the last strike where Vision basically tells him it's a privilege to exist amongst humans at all. Flaws and everything, which is a wild thing to say. A robot who just tried to end the world, but Vision's clearly built different from the jump. Anyways, after all of this, Tony steps back from active avenging temporarily. We all know how long that usually lasts. Man cannot stay retired for one movie cycle. That motherfucker money come in, bro. Like, all right, fuck it. Thor ends up heading off, trying to investigate this whole Infinity Stone thing, which, you know, he's setting up future movies we've already seen, because apparently one robot apocalypse wasn't enough plot for one Avenger to deal with this year. And then we end up seeing a brand new Avengers roster training up at this shiny new upstate compound. Vision, Scarlet Witch, War Machine, Falcon, and Black Widow running point, with Cap now stepping into more of a leadership role than ever. Man looks over his new lineup. Somebody who's been fighting since literally 1943 at this point. Older than everybody in that room combined, probably.
Every last one of them, and I mean every last one of them, was old as hell. We had like 2 that was decently young. The Falcon, Spider-Man, are in basically 3. 4 actually. Wanda and Black Widow.
Twice over.
I hate Black Widow.
The sigh of somebody who just
Not
wants
like
one single
movie-wise,
and drops the iconic
MR-wise.
closing line that's going to become
I
the
hit
title card
it,
for the
but
next
it's
half
alright.
decade of
We're
movies.
cooked. They got a point.
Avengers. And that's the whole
Why is this
movie.
lame?
A billionaire guilt complex accidentally birthed a genocidal robot. And that robot rebound
just started
project
horrifying me.
accidentally birthed a purple messiah. An entire European capital got yeeted into the sky and back down. And somehow the real moral of the story is just maybe
can't
don't
allow them
ever
to
leave
win.
Tony Stark alone
Not
with a
gonna do
computer again. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, make sure you comment down below. Let me know what videos you want to see next. Also, make sure you like and subscribe and hype the video. That'll help tremendously. And turn post notifications on, or you're a hoe. Love you guys. Bye.
Hello. Shouts out to bro.
Break.
I'll fuck with his content. Don't forget to go sub to his shit. I would put it in the description, but that would be too much work. So just go to SYN and go, you know, watch his stuff. He got some nice ass shit. I ain't gonna lie. But we're gonna turn on somebody else. Okay, trust me. Other people.
Y'all talk about the John Wicks, the Jack Reachers, even James Bond. But do y'all know about Robert McCall? You better find out.
I don't know about
So
Robert
Mr. McCall purses up
Tell
at
me
this
about it.
restaurant, usually
Tell him
during
about it,
those
son.
demon hours. Right about the same time you're reaching for that lotion by your bedside. He'd just be there sipping his tea, reading, and minding his business. Then there's Terry,
You
a
gotta turn
teenage
him
girl
up.
who's always
His
at the
voice is, like,
spot
way quieter
chatting to
than
him.
awesome,
You
though.
might be
It's alright.
wondering, why is she out so late? Well, Terry works for a Russian company that's the real life version
her
of
sub.
OF. So one
Well,
day
don't
Terry's
forget to go
chilling
sub
at
the
the
Black
spot
Cape
with
as well.
Mr. McCall, just chopping it up, when she gets a call from Slavy,
And you know what else is massive?
her pimp named Slickback, telling her that Peter Griffin booked her. Basically, Chris Browns her every time she gets booked. And asks her if she could go with someone else. But Slavy's like, nah, he wants you. And the worst part, Brody was already waiting outside. Like, damn, nigga, how quick? You can see her eyes tearing up right before she leaves. And of course, Mr. McCall's clocking the whole thing.
Boy, his ass just be. When I used to watch this shit and realize how deep he be staring, bruh, I'm like, nigga, are you good?
Feeling bad for her, she leaves the restaurant and gets in the car. The next day, Mr. McCall returns to
All
the
good.
restaurant, carrying a small cake for Terry. She greets him with a smile and hesitates for a moment before asking, do you mind if I sit next to you? Her voice is soft, you can tell she's kind of unsure. McCall nods, gesturing to the seat beside him. As she sits down, his eyes immediately catch the faint bruise on her face. Like,
Am I
what the
doing more
fuck was
roast
Peter
stream
Griffin
later
doing?
on,
Was he trying to
Twitch?
fight, or was he trying to have a good time? Cause shit,
Not
nigga, he
Twitch.
could have paid me. I would have
Yeah?
gladly pulled up and
Yes,
ran this
Twitch.
fade. But I guess he likes bashing little girls. They start talking
And
for a bit,
then
and he
maybe
can
on
tell she's
TikTok? Who
broken,
knows?
lost in her own
Could be
world.
there.
He tells her straight up, you could be whatever you want, but you gotta change your world first. He walks her
most
home,
likely
trying to show
not
her a
gonna be
different
live.
way. Just before they get there, Slavy pulls up in the whip. He steps out all hostile and
Be
hits
like,
Terry
"That's
with
all
the,
about
what did
push."
you do
Right in?
to my
Yup.
customer? Terry's like, he hit me, so I hit
Terry
him
won't
back.
work
Then
with us.
Slavy
He
smacks
just
her.
like,
McCall about to
work
step
with
in,
us.
but Terry shakes her head, telling him everything's okay. Meanwhile, this nigga standing here low-key clutching his gun, just in case Brody try to pull something stupid. Slavy yanks Terry into the whip and turns to McCall like, this girl, no good. Call this number, I'll send you another one. He hands McCall the card, then drives off like nothing. A couple days go by and McCall doesn't see Terry at the diner.
I seen
Now he's
Crunchy
starting
and I
to
didn't
worry.
grab
The next day,
him.
Frank, the shop owner,
Oh
tells
my
him she's in
God,
hospital.
I
They
am
beat her up
blind.
bad.
I mean,
McCall
let's
wastes
get our
no
boy
time and heads straight to
Adam
the ICU. When he gets there,
I
it's
didn't
worse
realize
than he
it was
imagined.
Quan
Terry's
Chi,
barely
but we love
recognizable.
him. We
Her
love
friend
Quan
is
Chi.
there sitting by her bedside holding her hand. McCall
That
doesn't
boy
say a
indeed
word.
is-
He just watches from a distance. But the look in his eyes said it all. You knew right there and then shit was about to
We're
get
going back?
wicked.
Yes,
So
sir.
Slavy and his crew are
We need
posted
that
up at the
face-to-face.
restaurant, counting bread, taking shots, getting lit. And out of nowhere, McCall just walks in. And they're confused, cause how the fuck did he just get past security? Slavy's like, are you lost? The dushu. And listen, I don't even know what that means, but that shit just sounds nice. The dushu. McCall walks right up to
He
him,
said
pulling
that
out
just
that
sounds
card that
nice,
Slavy
the
gave
douche.
him days ago. I'm here for that girl. Slavy's
I
all
mean,
like,
he
man,
ain't
I hand
wrong.
out lots
That
of
shit
cards.
do
You gotta
come
be a
off.
bit more
Why the
specific.
fuck
Then they
does
all
that
start
come off
laughing.
the
Her
tongue?
name's Alina.
The
Slavy
douche.
smirks and says that
One
name
more
doesn't
time,
ring
hold
a
on.
bell. But whoever she for that girl, you. When he gets there, it's worse than he imagined.
One more
Terry's
time,
barely recognizable. Her friend is there sitting by her bedside holding her hand. McCall doesn't say a word. He just watches from a distance. But the look in his eyes said it all. You knew right there and then shit was about to get wicked. So Slavy and his crew are posted up at the restaurant, counting bread, taking shots, getting lit. And out of nowhere, McCall just walks in. And they're confused, cause how the fuck did he just get past security? Slavy's like, are you lost? The dushu. And listen, I don't even know what that
Are you
means, but
lost
that
the
shit just
douche?
sounds nice.
Like,
The
bro, that
douche.
shit really
McCall
does
walks right
come
up to him,
off the
pulling out
tongue,
that card
bro.
that Slavy
Oh
gave
my
him
God.
days ago.
Ugh.
I'm here for that girl. Slavy's all like, man, I hand out lots of cards. You
Why
gotta be
your
a bit
girl
more
look like that?
specific. Then they all start laughing. Her
Oh.
name's Alina. Slavy
So we
smirks
have
and
to
says
hit
that
5
name
goals
doesn't
for
ring a
the
bell.
game.
But
Alright.
whoever she is, she
I like
must have
that.
gave you that hot tour for you to walk up in here like this. But McCall stays calm and puts an envelope on the table with 9,800 cash. Slavy's in
We
disbelief.
ain't got nothing to
Ain't
worry
no way
about.
This man's
We
about to
ain't got
drop
nothing to worry
damn near
about.
10 bands
Who's
for one
up?
piece
Oh
of
my God,
coochie.
he's so
Slavy reaches out, about to shake McCall's hand, but pulls him in instead. He smirks and says, you think 9,800 is enough? I make that off
Yes,
Terry
I
in 2
switched up.
weeks.
You got a
She's still a
problem with it?
child. I got people like P. Diddy paying top dollar for her. Now grab your money and get the
we
fuck
need
out
some
of
of the
here.
weak
McCall's
ones.
like,
We
I
need-
bet. Grabs his envelope, tucks it in his pocket,
put you
and
in the
starts
back by
walking
chance
towards
for
the
the
door. He opens it slightly, peeking outside to check the hallways. Then this
Where you
nigga shuts the
place
door and
it?
locks himself in. And
Nowhere.
motherfuckers know, if you're
Nowhere.
bold enough
Nowhere.
to lock yourself in a
Nowhere.
room with straight
Nowhere.
killers, it's either you're
Ugh.
crazy or you're a straight
It's good.
demon. McCall scans the room, quickly sizing up his situation, then starts the timer. As he's walking forward, the dude by the door tries to flank him from behind, but
Right
McCall
over to our
grabs
boy
his arm,
Poseidon.
clips him in
Alright,
the
over
jaw,
to our
then
boy
hits a
Ares.
smooth
Alright, over
360
to our
spin,
boy
shooting
Demonic.
Slavy right in the
And
neck.
he shoots,
Damn, he
takes
snatches
it
a
up.
shot glass off the table
Wait, come
and
on.
yanks it in
we
Brody's
got
eye.
it.
Nigga about to wake up like Nick Fury. The big fella charges in
Slow
with the knife,
motion
but
for
McCall
me.
hits him with a
Slow
side
motion
step,
for
grabbing
me.
his arm,
Slow
activating
motion for
Uno
me.
reverse and diving the blade right into his chest.
Yes,
Another nigga tries to rush him from the side, but McCall has the running gun. He sees everything, blocking his punch, then yanking the knife out of Brody's chest and
We
slicing his
have
neck, then
gained
slapped his face on
Ace
the
Eater
table.
after
Brody,
all
who
this
just ate
fucking
2 slices
work.
to the chest,
Oh
stumbles
my
back
God.
only to catch 2 more and heads straight to the shadow realm. The last dude grabs a liquor bottle, swings it at McCall, but McCall weaves that
That
shit,
is the
snatches the
thumbnail
bottle
of
opener,
the day.
and just looks
That
at
is
him
the
like,
thumbnail of
it's
the
up, gang.
day.
He tries to swing again, but gets shanked in the shoulder,
And
then
it
the
was
gut.
blurred.
But
That
homie
is
was still
literally
going, so
something I
McCall
did.
blocks him, stabs him under the arm, then grabs his head and delivers one more to the gut, then twists the blade.
After a hard works with chat, and then a hard works for you two, we have gained Ace Eater. Now let's pray it is in my inventory, because the last time they did this shit to me, bro, it made me mad. Units? Yes, sir. There he is, looking gorgeous in the flesh. Hold on. Ooh. Alright, he got 4 upgrades, but obviously we gotta evolve him still. But ooh, yes sir. Get that. That's the thumbnail. Got the thumbnail. Took a little minute, but we got it. Took a little minute. Yeah, he agrees. Yeah. That's our boy. Alright, hold on. Let's go see what we gotta do to evolve him.
Blade. Nah,
hopefully
this
it's not
nigga's
too-
on demon time. He pulls it out and sticks it right under his chin, and you can see that shit coming out of his mouth.
Alright.
Like McCall ain't really playing
Okay.
around. And the
We already got the
craziest
blue
part,
rose.
this nigga spoke Russian the whole time. He's like, Punyato. Nigga
need
drops to
one
the
more
ground
of
and he
these.
stops his timer. He walks up to Slavia and was like, you should have just taken
Get
the
on-
money.
alright,
Now
yeah.
look at
We
you.
just need
Dead.
4 of
So after
these.
that squad wipe, McCall just goes back to
4
his
of
regular
these
warehouse
ocean
job like
fragments. We
nothing.
can do that on
Nigga,
the
that looks like
Marine
where
Corps.
I work.
One more
Meanwhile,
soccer ball.
Slavi's boss, Nikolai Ajenko, aka Teddy, flies in
We can
because
get that
his
from
crew
Marine
got
Corps as
wiped
well,
out,
but I
and
don't
now
know
he's
how
got to
hard it is
handle
to
all
get
this
it.
mess himself.
So then we
And
can
I
evolve
can't lie,
into
this
his
dude
second
wasted
one.
no time. He wanted answers,
But
but wasn't
yes,
getting
sir.
any. So
Let's
he
go do
pulled up
his,
a detective
first
reading
one
like,
showcase,
we
sir.
pay you good money for you to sit
Hold
around
on,
and
before
do nothing.
we do his
Looney
little
clearly wasn't
showcase,
feeling his
hold
turn,
on.
so he says some slick shit. Unlike
Hold
you
on.
Russians, y'all think
Before
y'all
we
can
do
pull
the
up to
showcase.
America and run
Woo.
shit. Next thing you know,
Pose is gorgeous.
Teddy smacks him with a
Here, come
brick,
over here.
and Frank pops both guards at the door. Teddy starts
Gonna
giving him
pull,
all types of face shots,
blue
pause,
rose out.
then a knee to the chest and one to the cranium.
okay.
But he
Oh, this
wasn't
is
done. He
terrible.
starts
My
yamming
bad.
his shit on the ground, yank, knocking him out. And he did all this just to send a message
see if
to
our
let
boy is lucky
everyone in
today.
America know that he's here. And listen, if I worked for him, I would have tapped in, because that's a message loud enough for me to get the memo. So Ralphie, McCall's friend, suddenly
Did
quits
we
his
get any
warehouse
new,
job, which throws McCall
nope.
off
Alright,
because
just
he was
making sure.
literally training him to be the security guard there. He decides to check up on Ralph, only to find out that these 2 shady cops have been extorting Ralph's mother, making her pay weekly interest or else they'll keep torching up her shop. Fast forward to next week when these dirty cops roll up. McCall catches them lacking outside. He pulls up the video of them threatening Ralph's mom and was like, if you don't return
Bro, that
every
sounds
single
disrespectful,
cent
man.
you took from her, you wake up with this footage all over the news, Facebook, Instagram. Shit, I might even put that bitch on TikTok just to make sure everybody sees that shit. But these cops weren't messing with all that. They pull out the strap and start threatening to send McCall to the afterlife.
This
McCall's
nigga just has
"I bet." He
ethereal
opens the
aura.
cover and slams
What
his
is
head onto
wrong
the
with
wall,
him?
Grabs the pistol, smacks his bro in the face with it, and tosses him on the
Okay,
ground. The
what?
first
Let's
dude tries to
etherealize
scramble
his
back
ass.
up, but gets backhanded into next
Rise,
week. Then the
my
very next day,
boy.
these niggas woke up at 6 a.m. and return
Rise.
every
Actually, I
single
might have
cent.
this as
Ralphie's
the,
mom out here thanking God.
this will be
Nigga,
the
you should be thanking Denzel. So remember when I said Teddy was all about his business? Yeah, he ended up strangling Terry's best friend because she didn't want to tell him which hospital Terry was at. And that just got me wondering, how do people that do this even sleep at night? I can barely sleep after watching a horror film. My ass gotta watch The Simpsons or Barbie to clear my head.
Get
So
that boy
Nikolai
theory
pieces
wise.
together that
Alright.
on the night that Slavi's crew got whacked, there
We're
was
obviously
one
gonna keep
customer who
butterflies on
walked
there
in the
because
restaurant
he's
and never
literally
came
like the
out.
only
So they pull up on
basic
Denzel while he
human
was
being
just
we have.
sipping his tea, reading his book. Bro, really just a chill guy. Dude right here thinks
But
he's
we
slick,
already
acting like
know
he's
what
just
the
here to
person
eat.
was.
Meanwhile, McCall's over there like, so is it just gonna be you or are we waiting for somebody
we
else?
are
The guy doesn't
from
even
the
fight it. He
supermarket.
just starts laughing knowing he's been caught. He whips out the Uzi and Denzel's like, I bet. Puts his book
116?
down and starts his watch. The moment homie steps closer, Denzel cracks him
Yeah,
with the
we
book,
might
knocks
just
the
end it
Uzi
here.
to the ground and snaps
Yeah,
his
we're gonna
neck
end the
with
video
the
here.
goddamn
We
book.
are
And
going
listen,
to go
I do
live
not own
though, so don't forget to go
firearms.
hop
Best
in the
believe
live if
from
you
this
feel
day
like
forth,
doing
I'ma
that.
keep
And
that
if you
novel by
would
my
love
hip.
to,
He
I
cuts the
believe
power,
you
then
can
walks
come
right
here
out the front
at
and starts taking pictures of
twitch.tv
these
/
niggas like a